Hello and welcome. Ever wondered what it would actually take to build an intelligent AI business coach? I'm not talking about just another chatbot, but a real strategic partner. Well, today we're going to go under the hood and demystify the exact tech that makes this whole thing possible. So, let's set the stage a little bit. If you're an entrepreneur or a business leader, you totally know this feeling. You're facing a huge decision, some complex problem, and you need expert advice like right now. But getting that guidance is often the biggest hurdle. I mean, just imagine it, having a world-class business strategist right there in your pocket, ready to talk you through a new pricing model or a tough negotiation whenever you need them. That's the dream, isn't it? But of course, the reality is often, well, very different. And that is the core of the problem, right? Top-tier consultants are incredibly expensive. Booking their time can take weeks. And sometimes you just need to brainstorm for 10 minutes at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. There's this massive gap between the need for expert advice and your ability to get it. Okay, so this is where a new generation of AI steps in. And we're talking about a system that's been designed from the ground up, not just to answer your questions, but to be a dynamic, proactive partner on your business journey. Yeah, let's be super clear here. This is not another generic chatbot spitting out templated answers. This is all about creating a genuine mentorship experience. It's a tool that can listen, understand the context, and give you strategic advice in real time, just like a human expert would. Okay, so let's dive into the fun stuff. How does an AI actually think like a business coach? Well, the whole architecture is surprisingly intuitive once you break it down into these very human-like parts. Think of it like this. The AI has four key parts that all work together. It's got an ear to listen, a brain to think, a memory to remember stuff, and a voice to talk back to you. Let's take a quick look at each one. First up, the ear. This is the speech-to-text, or STT technology. Super simple. When you speak, it listens. It uses tools like DeepGram or maybe OpenAI's Whisper v3 to instantly turn your words into text. The key here is all about speed and accuracy, turning your voice into data the AI can understand in just milliseconds. Next up, we've got the brain. This is the real intelligence layer. It's powered by a state-of-the-art large language model, an LLM. Think of things like GPT-4o or Claude 3.7. This is the engine for all the reasoning and understanding. And it's not just finding keywords. This is advanced stuff. The LLM actually simulates a strategist's thought process to analyze your problem from all sorts of angles. Now for the memory. This uses a really cool technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, with a vector database like Pinecone. It stores two critical things. First, a hand-picked library of proven business frameworks. SWOT analysis, the lean startup model, and second, the history of all your past conversations. And this is so important. By grounding its advice in these proven models, the AI delivers reliable, structured guidance, not just some random opinion it found on the internet. This gives it real expertise and long-term context about you and your business. And finally, we have the voice. So once the brain has figured out its advice, text-to-speech services, something like 11 Labs, turn that text back into natural, empathetic speech. And that is what makes the interaction feel like a real conversation, not like you're just talking to a machine. So you've got the ear, the brain, the memory, and the voice. But the real magic, the true superpower of this system, is how they all work together in what's called a proactive, agentic loop. A standard reactive AI just waits for you to ask a question and then it gives you an answer. Simple enough. But an agentic AI, it's proactive. It doesn't just answer, it listens, it thinks. It might even ask you a clarifying question back, like, hey, have you considered the impact on your cash flow? And then it gives you a recommendation. It actually coaches you. Now, what's really cool about this slide is how it shows you that proactive learning process, it's not just one simple step. As you can see, the system is using multiple tiers. This means it's combining things like prompt engineering to ask you better questions with feedback loops from your old conversations. And the whole thing is managed by the central workflow that's adapting in real time. That's how it goes from just giving you data to providing genuine insight. So what does this actually look like in a real conversation? Well, first, it detects when you're talking. The second you stop, it pulls up the context of your chat and your business profile. Then, it searches its memory for relevant stuff, like a pricing strategy framework. After that, it reasons and puts it all together to form a recommendation. And, this is crucial, it starts streaming its voice response immediately, which is the key to making the whole conversation feel natural. Okay, so we've seen the logic. Now let's look at how all this tech translates into actual features that make the coaching experience feel human and, actually effective. Let's talk about speed for a second. The goal is a latency of less than 500 milliseconds. What that means is the time from the moment you finish speaking to the moment the AI starts its reply. And get this, that's actually faster than a typical human response time. It's absolutely critical for getting rid of that awkward pause that makes most AI conversations feel so clunky. And this table here illustrates the strategic choices involved perfectly. You can see the trade-offs. While some other solutions might have slightly lower latency, the team here went with a combo like 11 Labs and DeepGram. And why's that? For that very high customization. This lets them create a unique, authoritative, and trustworthy voice for the coach, which is just essential for building your confidence in it. So let's just recap the three big things that set this apart. First, the long-term memory. It remembers your last session and tracks your progress. Second, natural interruption. You can literally barge in and say, wait, tell me more about that, and it'll stop and listen, just like a person would. And third, framework accuracy. Like we talked about, all its advice is grounded in verified, proven business models, making sure you get safe, reliable guidance every single time. You know, when you put all of these pieces together, the speed, the memory, that agentic logic, you're looking at something much bigger than just a clever app. You're really looking at a fundamental shift in how expert knowledge can be accessed and used. And this quote from the project proposal really just sums it all up, doesn't it? It's not about replacing human consultants. It's about bridging that critical gap. It's about giving you dynamic, real-time mentorship for those moments you need it most. And making high-level strategic thinking accessible to way more people. And that leaves us with a pretty provocative thought, right? As this technology just keeps getting better and more intuitive, you have to ask yourself, could your next great business partner actually be an AI? Thanks for watching.